And it came to pass, when Moses held up his hand, that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone and put it under him. And he sat thereon, and Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on one side and the other on the other side. And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun.
In these scriptures, we learned that Aaron and Hur were being supportive of the prophet. And this showed that they sustained Moses as the prophet, sustained him as a man who God called to lead them. And today we have a prophet. His name is President Nelson. And I want you to think about ways that you can sustain President Nelson. You may not need to go hold up his hand so that bad guys don't kill your family, but you may need to sustain him in other ways, like maybe when you hear people talking bad about him, or in church when they ask you to sustain the prophets, you can raise your hand to the square and say that you sustain him. You may wonder what the word sustain means. Sustain means that you support him and that you know that he's a prophet of God, that he was called to teach the people at this time. And just last weekend, we had General Conference. And during General Conference, you got the chance to listen to President Nelson speak. And do you remember what he told you to do? If you sustain him as a prophet, you'll listen to what he told you to do and you'll do it. If you need help remembering, maybe you could go back with your family and listen to his talk. Or maybe if your parents took notes or listen to it themselves, they can summarize it for you. But you can sustain your prophet by listening to what he says and follow it. There is a link to conference in the description below. After you do this, discuss with your family what blessings come to you when you listen to the leaders and do what they ask you to do. For the lesson plan, check out our blog in the description below.